Saudi King Mohammed bin Salman caught red-handed? What was he doing in secret underground chambers in Jannat Al Baqi? The video shook the entire world. The sensational news has left everyone stunned. A secret of the Saudi prince has been revealed that left people amazed. The caretaker of Jannat Al Baqi has exposed all the secrets. Mohammed bin Salman is trying to delete this video, so watch our video as soon as possible and share it as much as you can before it gets deleted. Friends, before we start the video, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to stay updated with every new video. Friends, the caretaker of Jannat Al Baqi has revealed all the secrets. He says that in recent months, the Saudi prince has been visiting Jannat Al Baqi very frequently. He, the caretaker, was recently assigned to this duty at Jannat Al Baqi. He mentions that since he took on this duty, he has seen Mohammed bin Salman visiting Jannat Al Baqi several times in a month. This is particularly surprising because the caretaker said he had often seen Mohammed bin Salman arriving in Jannat Al Baqi in the middle of the night. When he asked the watchman at the main gate of Jannat Al Baqi why the Saudi prince visited at night, the watchman said, "Don't pay too much attention to it." The caretaker noted that the watchman seemed quite nervous and suggested that during the day there is a crowd of people, so the prince comes at night for solitude. The caretaker, curious, asked who the prince might be visiting in the cemetery. The watchman said, "I told you, these are matters of high-profile people. Don't pay too much attention." However, an astonishing incident occurred that left the caretaker in shock. He said that while thinking of going to his room after his rounds at night, he saw the Saudi prince's car parked in front of the cemetery. Curious about why the prince visited at night, he wanted to see which grave he was interested in. As the watchman did not allow anyone in at that time, the caretaker hid behind a tree. Shortly after, the Saudi prince entered the cemetery alone, while his guards stood outside. It was surprising because the prince was never seen alone. He always had two guards with him. As soon as the prince entered the cemetery, he scanned the entire area and then carefully walked to a grave in a corner. He began digging the grave. The caretaker was astonished to see the prince digging the grave and wondered why he was doing so. If there was a relative buried there, why was the prince digging it up? This seemed wrong. What the caretaker saw next left him horrified. After digging, the prince descended into the grave. The caretaker's eyes widened in shock, wondering what the prince could possibly be doing inside the grave. The caretaker was paralyzed with fear, thinking that perhaps a guard had seen him and he might face the same fate as another caretaker who had been executed for similar reasons. The caretaker was overwhelmed with fear, but when he heard a cat meowing behind him, he relaxed a bit, thinking maybe it was just a cat. He continued to wonder about the reason for the prince's actions. Friends, you will be astonished to learn what the Saudi prince was doing in the grave. According to the caretaker, after about half an hour, the prince emerged from the grave, brushed off his clothes, covered the grave with dirt again, and left. The caretaker was stunned that the prince had remained perfectly fine without oxygen for half an hour. The caretaker started hovering around the grave, unable to sleep at night, trying to understand what was inside the grave. The next time the prince came, he brought a black bag with him and descended into the grave with it. At that moment, the watchman saw the caretaker and approached him, saying, "Aren't you ashamed? You're secretly watching all this. If I tell Mohammed bin Salman, you know what will happen to you." The caretaker begged for forgiveness, saying he wouldn't repeat such actions. The watchman expelled him from the cemetery and gave him a final warning not to be seen around the cemetery at night again. The caretaker promised never to commit such a transgression again. Despite his vow, the truth couldn't be hidden. The caretaker went to the police station and told the whole story. The police officer said it was impossible and declared the caretaker insane, claiming he was making wild accusations against the Saudi prince. The caretaker kept shouting and pleading to have the grave excavated to prove his claims. A journalist present at the police station suggested that they should investigate the caretaker's claims. The police were reluctant, but the journalist argued that Islam is a religion of justice for everyone, regardless of status. He referenced the incident when a woman named Fatima was punished for theft, and even though she was of high status, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stated that he would have punished even his own daughter if she had committed the same crime. The journalist suggested that they should investigate the matter to ensure justice. However, no one listened to the journalist. The journalist took the issue to social media, which led to the revelation that an underground chamber had been built inside the grave, equipped with oxygen cylinders and secretly storing small gold blocks extracted from a Saudi mountain. The grave was chosen for secrecy, and the operation was conducted with extreme confidentiality. Once this news spread on social media, it caused an uproar. Before any questions could be raised, the video was deleted. Friends, the question remains: which mountain in Saudi Arabia was producing gold? Some time ago, a video went viral on social media confirming gold mines in the mountains. The Saudi prince was reportedly transferring gold from there into the underground chamber in the grave. Since the gold was under Saudi government control, this operation was carried out in secrecy. Despite the gravity of the crime, the caretaker and journalists were labeled as liars. This is the news that was being deleted from social media. Confirming the authenticity of this news is challenging, but many have verified that gold mines do exist in Saudi Arabia. However, there is no confirmation yet about the prince hiding gold in the grave. Only Allah knows best.